Hey, so we have this type of dudes that they're always trying to mess up in our jobs, and it's crazy. Now, I'm gonna talk something about what happened to me like a couple years ago, and it might help you a lot. I want to talk about this for a long time, mm, and it's crazy. Now we have. I'm a reader, specifically entrepreneurship, um, personal development, and I've been noticing that we all gather with people. Uh, you have a job, you do whatever you do. There's somebody trying to mess you up every day, man. And I'm getting used to it, and it's pretty normal. I don't know about you, but what I'm about to tell you here, it happened to me 2 years ago with someone that I used to work with. Now he's one of my friends, but before that, everything was messed up. So um, I want you to hear the story with that dude and me, and how that book really helped me to help those people, also my friends, and improve myself with relationships. So I'm gonna tell the book name later on. Maybe not. I want you to write down your comments. What kind of people you used to work with that try to mess you up? Now I want to read those comments, and it's crazy. Now it was 2 years ago. I had a job about it was on party rentals. Now first week I met some dudes, a lot of dudes, cool guys, and 1 week later, sorry, 2 weeks later, because we used to go with trucks and we used to be helpers, right? And the drivers were the buddies in charge. They had more experience rather than us. Then there were like 15 new guys, including me. Now there was a dude. He was from Ecuador, right? Um, and he was known by being the most stubborn, bossy. Damn, he was mad every time. He was complaining about the weather, dude. And nobody wanted to work with him. But I knew that, I mean, I already read that book. I'm going to talk about that book later, but I'm going to show up this a specific time when I put that book on practice, and it blew my mind. Now, um now long story short, a whole week, hey, this dude did this with me, and the other dude, hey, I went with him. He was complaining with me, and I was like, damn, I don't want to work with this dude, man. Because I mean, they were on chart, right? And if they went to off and say, hey, this dude didn't do shit, and I didn't want to lose my job. Um, Either my buddies. So, um, one day, um, we always every morning we saw who we are going to work with for the rest of the day. So I knew that I was working with him. I saw the paper, Anderson, and this dude, and I'm like, damn, okay, so let's do it, man. So I hop on the truck with him. First time, he said, I hope you work well, because these dudes can't even strap a truck. And I'm like, damn. Okay. So we had a 2 hour trip because we were trying to deliver some big stuff, and it was a 2 hour trip. Now, I was like, we started writing, and everything was quiet. Now, listen, that book had like 12, I'm going to call it rules. It's not called rules, but I'm going to call rules so you guys can understand it better, right? So that book had like 12 or between 8 to 12 rules. I just put one to practice. You don't have to write take into account the 12, but you can work with one or the best that you want to work with. So the rule that the book showed me was talk about um what people want, but not about what you want. So it made sense. So I had this dude. I want to be friend with him because I don't want nobody to bother me in my job. So either we become friends or you relax or we start arguing. So you pick up, man. I didn't say that. I was just talking to me. So I had to do the I had to be very very I had to take a decision. So either I start arguing with this dude cuz I don't want to argue, man. It makes no sense. He already had experience and I don't. So we the first question I asked him was, "Hey, where are you from?" I already knew who he was from, but where are you from? He said, "Ecuador." I'm like, "Damn." I'm like talking to me, right? I'm like, "Awesome, man." And what's the best thing to do in Ecuador? And he started talking about a lot of things, but I wanted to talk about the best we people like, which is food, right? We all like to eat. I mean, and if you talk about someone's, if he comes from Ecuador, I'm gonna talk about Ecuador, right? I'm not gonna talk about me because he's gonna be like, "Shut up." I mean, you gotta. It's easy, man. It doesn't take too much, but if you want to put this book into practice, you gotta get your ego on one hand and you gotta be humble too, man. If you're not that type of people dealing with people, man, that book is not work for you. Cause now, what's the best type of food we can get in Ecuador? He said some. It was from. We were talking Spanish, but he mentioned a kind of soup made out of seafood, which is typical in there, right? So he talked about it, and I said, "Damn, that sounds very very tasty. Where can I get it?" Make questions, right? So he can answer. He likes to talk about because he's from Ecuador. I'm not gonna talk about McDonald's, right? And he was like very he's I mean, if you, I was trying to make interest in him, right? Because people like that. Did you know that people loves to hear their name from other people? If you listen to your name coming from other person, there's something happens in your mind. I'm not that guy, but something happens in your mind what you get excited. Damn, I heard my name. Even if it was other person, you heard your name. My name is Anderson. I don't listen to this name very commonly, so I know who when someone's trying to reach me out, right? So if you, I mean, you wanna get called by these people, right? So long story short, he explained me, hey, we can get this, but he still had that attitude behind him, right? So I was not trying to overwhelm him with questions because I it was the first day I was talking to him. We were strangers, so I was not trying to push him a lot, but I had my goal on him. So he talked about food for like 30 minutes. I just let him talk. Now I'm just explaining this to you because I if you can guys like put this in practice in your situation, it might work. And it's crazy. Now, if you had a guy that's grumpy, try to talk about what he likes. And first of all, if you want to try to listen to him, where he if you need to get some information about where he's from. The best one, the easy one that you can talk is where he's from. Now you can start out from that, right? Food, culture, people, whatever. It's easy, man. He's some people that is just shy or don't give a damn about people. But in this situation, we're gonna talk about how to create relationships with people, right? So 30 minutes about food. I said, dude, it's crazy. I want to try it. Where can I get it from? That dude took me all the way to after we did all this. No, sorry. He took me before we got to a job. We was trying to to get some delivery. We had some time. He took it was like 11:30, 12. He took me to a restaurant, man, and he paid for it. And I was not trying to show off. Oh, he's like that dude, he's cool, right? Because sometimes we judge people by their cover. It's an easy way to, you might heard this before, but you can't just, if he seems grumpy or you heard things from people, don't hesitate, man, because it happens. People are awesome. People are, you don't even know who you're talking to, and then you realize, damn, he was cool. Now we stopped eating. He was kind of more, he was being more talkative, saying more things, and that was a good sign, right? But I was still not trying, because he was still having that grumpy attitude. Even though he was talking too much, I was still like, I need to work on this guy a little bit more. Now I know that I can make him talk, but he was, because he was not talking to none of us, right? Only about job and barely, you know, crazy, man. So that was a good sign. I didn't talk to nobody about this, right? Because everybody was talking about this dude. Because I and those dude was were waiting for me after, and I bet they were trying to. They asked me how was it, and I didn't tell them nothing. So uh, these guy was, we got into, we were trying to go to a um golf course, delivering some tables. Now we took the tables off, right? And I was trying to set the tables up, right? I didn't know how, so I asked him, "Yo, can you help me?" He started complaining, "You don't know even how to set up a table, dude." And I'm like, "Damn, bro, relax." And listen, that was um how do I say this? Corporate corporal expressions, right? Now you need to understand that those dudes that are like always trying to push someone, they're like tight or something like. So I knew this, and I said, "Joe, relax, man. I just hit him in here," and somehow he just changed from there. When I hit him like that, bro, he became my best friend. I don't know. It's weird, man. It was the book. It's weird. I know, but you need to understand people's behavior. Sometimes we don't even know who you're talking to, man, and it's crazy. And if you're in the real estate, or well, I'm in the real estate, or if you're in the business, or you're doing whatever, you need to understand that there's gonna be a point in your life that you're gonna need people. Not people, but you have to be able to create relationships, bro, and try to take your ego and whatever judges you have on your mind, grab them or put them aside, and try to focus on. I'm not saying that you gotta be like, hey, smiling with everybody. No, I'm just saying, try to know people, right? And that's the book that has helped me. So that buddy became my best friend, and later on, he wanted to me to work with him for the next 6 months. Man, it was crazy. We had a good time, laughing. He was still having that grumpy thing, but I knew, hey, and you gotta listen to this, because I knew it was not something about, and yeah, it was something about relationships, because he still had that attitude, but not with me, because I knew it, because one day we went to work, and the boss man said, "Hey, um, now there's two of you, and you're gonna go with this other dude." But the other guy didn't know about the grumpy dude I was trying to become friend of, right? He was good with me already, but the dude was didn't know the other dudes. So I was like, I'm gonna try to listen to this. I'm already a friend of him, so I let the new dude talk with the grumpy one, and I realized people, when you don't connect to people, they're somehow they're gonna try to mess you up, right? Now when you find people in your work or school or college or whatever, it's because they want to try to bully you or they want to be more with you. That's some fucked up thing that you gotta realize, that everyone wants to be more than you. Someone wants to become more better than you, right? Now he wanted to be, he wanted to push me at the beginning, right? But I could like overcome this situation by doing putting in practice about the books. Now the new guy, he didn't know this, right? So I just want to witness what a person without the knowledge, how can talk to a guy like that, right? So this that's how important it is to read that book that I'm gonna show you later. Matter of fact, it's called um damn, matter of fact, it's called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's crazy. You need to read that book. Now, this guy didn't know about the book, right? So, uh, he started doing the job. The guy was complaining about him again. I was just quiet. He was, hey, show him how to do things, man. Now, it's crazy because at the first time he was complaining about me because I didn't know how to do things. Now he said, um, show him to do things. Wow, it's crazy. Now he knows that I can be able to do things, right? It's some weird thing, man. But you gotta connect to people. Listen to what they want to do. Listen, you gotta be a listener, bro. If not, you're gonna be like again with his buddy. So yeah, he that the new guy was done already. 2 hours later, he was, damn, I hate that dude, man. I said, don't worry about, man. You just gotta be, you gotta understand the old guys, cause he was like 50, son, and it don't matter. I mean, you find people all the way around the world like that attitude, and yeah, he was uh when we were done with the job, that the new guy was, he didn't want to work with him no more. So I was like, damn, it's real. It's real. If you can understand, if you can support pressure from people, you can do, I mean, it's gonna be hard for you to do entrepreneurship or business things because you gotta deal with people every day, man. Now I have a bunch of stories that I want to talk to you about, but it's gonna take me too much. But it was crazy. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It is a is a it is a very old book because they had to change the scripts for like 3 times so people could understand it. Because it had like a lot of things to understand. It was so hard, man. They mentioned good dudes in there, how they become and how they used to do it, the results, and how can they change it. It's crazy. How can you get people, if you read this book twice, you can you can literally become friends of anyone, man. I'm not kidding. But the rule is you gotta be humble, you gotta have a goal, and you gotta get your ego down, man. Because if someone is gonna talk to you, if you don't like people talking to you very bad or something, you gotta breathe, man. Because that's only for people with goals in here. Because my goal, I'm actually doing the real estates, right? So if you're doing real estate or whatever business you're dealing right now, that's something you gotta know already, right? Because money is out there, man. But you gotta be connected also. We have I'm gonna talk about, the real estate guy, Grant Cardone. You gotta listen to that dude, man. He got a bunch of stuff to say. Now, I'm not gonna say for dudes that sell single homes. This is another conversation. But Gary V, damn, though, you need to listen to those dudes, man. That's why Instagrams right now. Now, this podcast, if you don't like it, just get out, man. I'm gonna try to connect with all dudes, and we're gonna talk about good things. For the next episodes, I got a bunch of ideas, and if you had a dude like that in your job, college, school, write it down and tell us how did you fix that problem with that person, even if it was family, co-worker, whatever. Tell us how did you overcome, or did you just fuck it, or whatever. Tell us what happened. And yeah, it's crazy, man. Try to get the book. If you have any questions about how to talk to people, because yeah, I might seem like, hey, I'm a cool guy. It's different, man. It's different. Like trying to get friends and influence people, and it's a difference when you want to become friends with everybody, right? That's a whole different story, and I'm not gonna talk about it. But anyway, I'm very excited to talk about these things later on because I have a bunch of things that I want to talk about. And you want to listen to him, man. I'm gonna try to talk with good dudes in the industry right now. I hope they want to see because I know these people want to help people, man, and it's crazy. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna see.